really good topic.
Yep.
Move on to our next topic. Creative inspiration.
Steve's struggle would have been not catching a certain Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, of
I would have
course.
loved her. Steve's got a lot of struggles, man. He was telling me about CVS or lately, and it
Jesus.
just sounds like a nightmare. But creative inspiration through creative struggles, probably. Like, wanted to talk about. Okay, so I'm in the video game industry. Alan, you're in the
Film
movie
and
and film animation VFX industry. You're a penny pusher, so.
I'm a financial.
You're a stiff neck
bean counter.
bean counter.
Yo, bean counter. But that doesn't mean we don't, you don't have creative inspiration to do the things, like you were just talking about how you want to do the things around the house. That takes a level of creativity in what you want to do. And so I wanted to talk about where you get inspirations for your creativity. What are the things that you look for? What are the things that inspire you when you have a roadblock in creativity? What do you go to? How do you unblock that? Is there anybody in the creative field that you're, inspired by or envious of or admire?
Well, and I actually had a question for Alan.
Yeah.
Your ADHD and everything, do you feel like that helps you be more creative sometimes?
Sometimes it can be amazing. Like sometimes it's really great because there's this thing like called hyperfocus. I'm sure like some people get it just in general, where you basically are like something is so stimulating to you, you're like tunnel vision. Like nothing exists outside of like where your gaze of focus is falling. So like if I'm working, like if I like for instance like on the last movie, or just any movie where I was like hands-on working on something, and I really wanted to get it to look great, amazing looking. I can just be like sucked in the zone, and the next thing I know, it's like 10 p.m. and I have this great looking shot that's going to be great for the movie, but it's like my phone's been blowing up. Like you goes like, where the hell are you? Yeah, like it's 10 p.m. Like you work on a shitty part of town. Like you bike to work. Like I haven't heard from you. Like are you dead?
Sarah, same thing. Sarah's like, when you coming home? Like I don't know, because like I would get in those tunnels.
Yeah, so it's just like everything kind of just like goes away. But it's great if you can like hone that to just do the X task and then quickly move to the next one, or like make sure you're just kind of aware to like let people know like what's going on, just so they're like kind of like tuned into your brain. But if they don't, then they're just like, what the fuck is wrong with this person?
The most exhilarating thing is like knowing it's almost like when you have this creative project and you've broken it down to an IKEA like structure of like what you need to do and the finished product in your head. You see it so clearly and you're just like, I got this. I know exactly what it is. You're just banging out the tasks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the problem is it it takes a while to get to that like ideal perfection like art, right? So but you just know exactly, so you're just like boom, 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 and this and that and this and that and boom, 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 and you're just going and you're going and you're going, and it could be like a day project, but like you're trying to squish it down into the afternoon, nighttime, right? But
I was gonna say the ADHD thing, like the hyperfocus thing was really good when I was just working like hands-on stuff, but now that I have to like juggle like way more tasks and like people's like priorities and all that kind of stuff, it's not as good. Because it's like I can't spend 3 hours working on some artistic part of it, because then there's gonna be like 6 people that are like, hey, I like need help right now, whatever, come over here. So it's just like really kind of dropping some of that and learning to multitask better.
You should check out the Leadership Pipeline book. It was made by two I'm thinking of Creativity Inc. Leadership Pipeline is a really good book. It describes the different levels of IC, management, leadership, major leadership, and then leadership of major leadership, and they describe it as like a pipeline, and the different turns are what causes friction and causes trouble for people to transition, but they give really great examples and really great tactics and strategies for those moving into those different levels. And the hardest one is the first turn, which is the IC, the individual contributor to someone who manages individual contributors, because it's really easy for them to see a problem, put somebody on it, and when it doesn't meet their expectations, they want to get hands on and they go, right, exactly.
I have that struggle right now.
Everyone does. Every single person does. And it teaches you how to evaluate that and to handle it, which is really good. So just being able to believe in your people and in the concept of decision versus direction, right?
Yeah,
Like,
try to point them.
Yeah.
Hey, this is where we're going. Like, you're going this way. Let's try this way.
yeah, and then just catching up with them and stuff. Really good book. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, and so before I was in the financial industry, I was in the real estate world, and I sold foreclosed homes. So, and what I would have to do, I would have to get creative a lot of times. So in that world, I was not behind a desk all day. I was actually more creative. I had to pick colors and fix things and repair things and try to juggle also spending money. So you have to be kind of, hey, we can do this project here and it's going to be this much, but let's try to do it this way, and you know, and it's going to be more cost efficient and get the job done. So
yeah.
You're like those twins that like redo like homes and stuff.
Property Brothers.
Property Brothers.
yeah. So
You're like a
I was-
property brother.
Exactly. I'm the third brother.
What?
No, they have a third brother.
Yeah.
I'm the fourth then. Damn it.
I think they have a fourth brother too.
Yeah. They
Okay,
got
I'm
5.
a cousin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I was I would have to walk into these properties, and I mean, you can imagine some of these foreclosures would just ridiculous. But what I ended up doing though is that just being out like at a friend's house or other people's places and everything, I now just look at like how things are built and what they have here and there, and I would take these ideas and then bring them to the houses and kind of like work with them a little bit. So that was pretty cool. I still do it to this day. Like I cannot walk into a house without looking at
Analyzing
baseboards and seeing if there's possibly signs of like a roof leak or
You're like Dwight
cracks in
that episode
What's
of
that?
Office when they
Yeah.
go to the CEO's house and he's just like inspecting the shit out of the house. Like
Yeah.
he's up on the roof kicking the fireplace, trying to figure it out. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not like obvious, but my mind wanders to that like
Sure.
all the time now. And like I'll look at something, I'm like, oh, that's a really cool idea. How can I incorporate that in my own house now? Or do that, and
I think
that's where I get into those little projects that I haven't finished, and it's like, damn it.
I think you're right, and what's interesting is I think that's a really great that's the basis of that creative inspiration that we're talking about. Because I do the exact same thing when I'm playing video games, or I'm a little bit more. Maybe that's not unfair to say, but I was gonna say like being in an entertainment video game, there's a lot of stuff I can incorporate from entertainment. I can incorporate from movies, pop culture. I can incorporate from other video games. I can incorporate from like just in general entertainment, like books and stuff and novels, because I work somewhat narratively, and content is about telling a story through gameplay, and so I can present the player with all different types of stuff that I've been inspired by. I do the same thing. Like I'll analyze movies or like a cool story or like a fun time that I had in a game, and it also comes subconsciously to me as well. But when I'm working on stuff to find creativity or being creatively inspired, I'll just research what it is that I'm trying to do based on like the core nugget. If it's like, okay, you got to fight something, or you are in a city and you're skateboarding. It's like, well, okay, has there been anything really, really cool in a city that like would be awesome to skate on? And I just YouTube, I start Googling, like I try to I basically build a collage of things that have inspired me, and that paints that picture of what I want to do moving forward.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty similar. I think like film photography is like really big, because like all visual effects and animation is basically just trying to recreate what you can get from a real camera, because there is something like we've just been looking at film for so long that's what our bodies are like used to when we see it on like the screen. We want to see things that imitate what happens when film is like projected through a lens, essentially. So it's not even like what our eyes see.
It's
like,
what film.
It's what a camera sees. And a camera actually has like a better color palette than our own eyes. It can capture more color information than our own eyes even can. So what we see on film or on like a photograph is never what we actually see in real life. It's like
That's
better
so cool.
quality than that.
That's crazy.
So like
Yes.
that little nugget right there is creatively inspiring to me. The concept that we live in a world where we're not even seeing the full potential of something as small as a photograph is super inspiring, and I feel like you can take that nugget and apply that to something like in a game mechanic or in a game scenario where like this is just adding that nugget is so interesting. Wherever it may be. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's actually the most recent thing that was really inspiring to me and like really struck a chord was this documentary called Tim's Vermeer. And I don't know if you guys, either of you, Clay, I don't know if you remember from art school, but Vermeer was like a painter during, Yukiko, do you know what century? 16th, 17th century or something like that. And all of his paintings, basically, like the way they're described is he was painting with light. Like in a time when everything else kind of had that kind of look of a little like not quite correct lighting on it and not quite the exact, like the proportions weren't exactly correct. And this documentary is about this guy who's not a painter trying to paint a picture exactly the same as Vermeer did. And I won't spoil like what happens in the in the movie because it's like I want to say like less than 90 minutes.
Oh wow!
So I would like really highly recommend it. It's like I went into it having no idea what it was about, and I was just like engaged immediately because it really stuck to what like I do as a profession, basically.
Cool.
But yeah, it's basically him learning what sort of techniques Vermeer might have used in trying to learn it himself, even though he's not a painter. So give it a watch, and you'll see some really interesting like techniques and like discoveries in that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jiro Dreams of Sushi, I've heard, is really great and inspiring as well. For someone like, it's like creatively inspiring, but like in the sense that like, if you hit a roadblock, keep trying, right? Like you will, you can polish and get better and like. Yeah,
it's definitely beautiful. It's like a beautifully shot documentary. I mean, looking at the fish with like the sauce on it and like it's glistening. It's got like great lighting on it. It's really, I mean, it's really satisfying to look at. Like I think sushi in general like has a very satisfying like texture and color palette too.
Yeah,
like
it's very colorful.
Like the reds and the gold colors and orange colors and
the sauces.
And like the sauce on top, it's like the glistening look of it and everything.
There's a glistening
also the it's very inspiring because it's like this is the only thing that he has done, like become a master for like 40 years. In the documentary, they say like the underling cooks, you have to clean for 3 years in the restaurant before they even let you touch the rice.
Wow.
And then you have to clean, you just have to wash rice, literally just washing rice for 5 years before you can go do anything else after that. So it's just kind of like that Japanese mentality of like mastering, like dedicating yourself to like one thing and becoming an absolute master at it before you move on to the next thing. And that's what Jiro is in the documentary.
That's like how I play League of Legends.
Master of like everything.
Yeah. This is how I play video games. No, I'm serious. Like this is why I only play Varus. Because I don't feel like I've mastered him yet. And the only reason why I don't go on to a new character is because I feel like I'm not finished doing the thing that I've set out to do, which is feel comfortable in that character so much so that like I feel like I've done the best I can. In any situation in which I lose is not my fault. I can now move on to the next character. So it was really tough for me to move on. It's the same way when I play a class in World of Warcraft or like I want to master that thing. I want to do it and then I'll be comfortable because I feel like there's unsolved like stuff and things like business, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. I definitely don't have that.
I don't either.
As soon as I lose interest, I'm like, okay, who's next? Like,
that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's because we play a character once, Alan, and we are already a master. So.
Yes,
that's true. Yes. Yeah, that is very true.
You guys are the amazing. How come you guys don't go pro?
Just no time. Just no time.
Time. That makes sense.
I don't want to make the other guys look bad.
Well, that too. Exactly. That too. I mean, you guys are so humble.
It all. Yeah.
You guys are so humble.
Yeah, I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'm the greatest.
Okay. Let's go on to our...